Commission hearing number 2 of 10th September 2019, case 001, Dorothy Chang et al.
Thank you. Prior to calling our first witness, I would just like to say that yesterday when Dr. Ferrari gave his evidence, he talked about a man that he saw in the hospital bed, very badly injured, and he would like to thank that man because that man was the reason why he decided to leave the Seychelles. That man, Brian Victor, emailed me last night to say that he had watched the proceeding and to convey the killing of Hoffman and Elizabeth. He has filed a complaint before this commission, and we will get to that complaint in the future, but I just wanted to acknowledge Mr. Victor because he did reach out to the commission last night. I would now ask that you call the first witness. Thank you.
First public witness is Bishop Frank Chang.
Okay.
I shall tell the truth.
I shall tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Thank you, Bishop Chang. The Commission is grateful for your willingness to appear in public session today and tell the Commission what you know about the circumstances surrounding the death of your brother, Davidson Chang. It's basically for you to tell your story, and then the Commission, if they have any questions, they will put them to you. So I invite you to take the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Madam Chair, I've got a small request before we start, like they do in the National Assembly. If we could observe just a short moment of silent recollection spiritually. Can we do this?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. And you proceed when you're ready. Thank you. Before I begin with as a statement, I'd just like something about Davidson, my brother. I come from a family of 10, and I want to say this, that we get a picture of who this person is that I'm talking about. Our father died in 1956, when those of us who were young were still at school. And it was Davidson who became like a second father to us. He carried on my father's business. He was a jeweler. And so from the jeweler shop, he continued to work, of course, and help the family to continue schooling and to grow. His children have testified this morning, what kind of father he was. I just wanted to see what kind of brother he was. I'm going to start on the morning of the 5th of June. It was a Sunday, and I was parish priest at Ensoyal. And normally first thing on a Sunday morning, a priest would be going to church to hold services. And at that time, I had 2 churches I looked after, one at Déjeuner. There would have been a mass there at 7, and second church at Ensoyal, Holy Saviour's, at 9. But fortunately, before I set off, I had a telephone call. I can't really remember who it was. I had written all that down in a diary. I keep a daily diary, but somehow this diary has got, I don't know if white hats have destroyed it, like with other diaries. There was a phone call to tell me that there was a curfew, there had been a coup, and I couldn't, it would be wise to go to the 7 o'clock Mass at St. Mary's en Déjeuner, so I stayed home. But what I really want to recall is that when I got outside the rectory, and the rectory and the church were very close, there was a very, very strong smell of petrol. And that rather disturbed me because I couldn't locate it. The rectory is near the sea, and there was, a breeze blowing. So I walked around the church and went around also the rectory to try and understand, where that smell was coming from. But later, and this is what I also said at the forum, if there was this deliberate attempt to set either the church or the Saviour's on fire, or the rectory where I was staying on fire, I don't know. But I still would like to say to the person who had poured the petrol, thank you. But he didn't do so because I had twin daughters, married only about a year, 15 months. And the children, the twin daughters, were only 9 months old. So looking back, I just feel, what if they had set the place on fire? And we're still asleep, of course. This could have been in the middle of the night. So it could all have gone up in flames. And also I've reflected ever since, was our family being targeted? And if our family was being targeted, for what reason? This is what my nieces and nephews have always been asking, why? Why their father? I'll come back to this in a short while. So the day went on, and we listened to the radio, and they were playing the songs which many of us can still remember about revolution, a new beginning for Seychelles. So I get to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon of Friday, or of Sunday, the 5th of June. At that time, obviously, there was no mobile phone, but the mainline telephones worked. The telephone rang. It was from the hospital. And the person on the line was Dr. McGregor. I think his first name was Ian. I knew him quite well. He was the chief medical officer. And Dr. McGregor was crying. He called me Father French at that time. He said, Father French, I've got bad news for you. So I said, yes, I'm listening. He said, very, very sorry to say, your brother has been shot. So I thanked him for his sympathies and, words of sympathy, pronounced, encouragement. And what I did then was to drive from Soyal to, we called it at that time the Victoria Hospital at Montfleury. We now call it the Seychelles Hospital. And from there I was directed to the mortuary. The mortuary at that time was situated not in its present place, but it was under the section of the hospital where we have postnatal services, where babies who need intensive care, that's where they go. And when I got there, there was Mr. Eugene Bell. He was in charge of the mortuary, and I knew him well. And he was very, very upset, like Dr. McGregor. He was also crying. And he showed me my brother's body. Looking back, I believe he was lying on a stone floor. He was fully clothed. And under his head was like, a piece of wood to support his head. A flat piece of wood. But what really, really struck me was that when he showed me the wounds of my brother, he was lying face upwards, and right there, the middle of his stomach was a very large gaping wound. Could have been about perhaps 2 inches, a bit more. And Mr. Bell also showed me the back of my brother's body, so he turned him over and he said, "See where the bullet came in." And obviously what comes to your mind immediately was that he was shot from the back. From the hospital, it's very likely I went to Bishop's house at Bello, which is just up the road from here, opposite the National Council for Churches, for Children, National Council for Children. I went there because Bishop Briggs, George Briggs, was our first bishop, and I must have gone to see him to tell him what had happened, and also to arrange for my brother's funeral. That would have been Sunday afternoon. I wish I could remember all the little details about arrangements for the funeral, but Bishop Briggs, what we did arrange was that we would bury my brother at St. Luke's Church at Bellum, because that's where he resided. That's where the family cemetery is. And we agreed that we would do the funeral the next day, Monday morning, mid-morning, about 10 o'clock. And it was useful for me to know from the nephews, that they arranged for a coffin. It's not like these days where you got the funeral services and you telephone and they bring everything. You had to make your own coffin. I had thought probably it was the Commissioner of Police who arranged for that. But we must have got in touch with the police for permission to take the body from the mortuary to Bellum. And I'd like to step back one short step to say that Mr. Bell from the mortuary handed me the watch which my brother had been wearing. It was an old-fashioned Rolex watch. And I think also his wallet, which had a few rupees in it, I believe. What I did when I was at the bishop's house, I telephoned the police station and I asked if I could speak to President Owene, who was at the police station. Of course, he didn't know. He didn't ask me where I was phoning from. And he didn't know that I'd seen my brother's body. So I said, "Good afternoon, Mr. President. I understand my brother has been shot." And he said, yes, I'm very sorry. I said, "Could you tell me what happened?" And he said, Davidson was being taken in to the police station for questioning, but then he was resisting arrest or being taken in, and he was shot by accident. And what I replied to him, I said, you didn't see what happened. I didn't see what happened, but God saw what happened. And we've got to be responsible for our action, for everything that we do. And President Winnie said, yes, yes. But that's all I got from him that day. So I went back to Soyala. You know, with the curfew on, you've got to be careful because people, those who had carried out the coup, were very, very agitated, and you had to be back, you know, make sure we're back before 6. I could have gone to see my mother, and also other siblings who were staying with her at Benezet Street, which is next to the market in town. Whether I did that or not, I can't remember. But I went back to Soyal, drove back, and the next morning I left for Belém for the funeral. My wife was still alive then. It's very likely she came with me. I mention this because we asked the person who's now the CEO for the Anti-Corruption Commission, Miss Mede Silva. In fact, she reminded me a few months ago. She said, you might not remember, but you asked me to come and babysit your twin daughters so that you could go and be or officiate at your brother's funeral. So that Monday morning, Bishop George Briggs and myself went to Belém. Things had to be done hastily. It wasn't a funeral in the normal sense that, you know, you have a little leaflets and choir comes to sing. It was done hastily. One of my brothers got, you know, very good memory, said to me, we had prayers outside the church and then we went straight up to the cemetery. What rather struck us was the number of people who had turned up, but they were mostly people, close relatives and friends from Belém. I estimate there could have been about 40 people. And everybody must have rallied round, because what happens in these little parish cemeteries when there's a funeral, you've got to get people to come and help you dig up the grave. So they must have dug up the grave that same morning. And so the funeral was conducted by Bishop George Briggs. And Madam Chair, I've got a copy of the church burial service register, which says Parish of St. Paul's Cathedral, Diocese of Seychelles, Republic of Seychelles, in year 1977. Certificate 192, which means the certificate was issued and must have received a copy, named Davidson Chang him aboard Belém, went buried 6 June 1977, age 44, by whom ceremony was performed, plus Bishop George Briggs. May I hand this over? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any queries? No?
Yes, Bishop, I noticed a number 192 over what looks like 77.
Yes.
What does that mean? Burial?
For us clergy, this is very familiar, and we always put this reference number in the burial register. 172 means that in 1977, from the 1st of January to the 5th of June, my brother was the 172nd person recorded to have died in Seychelles. So 172, it's, in order of chronological order of people dying that year.
Okay.
If he had died on the 1st of January, it would have been 1/77. Just this clarifies. I'm going to fast forward a bit to a few weeks after the coup, because what happened, my brother, having been a jeweler, he had taken in several watches. You know what it's like, sometimes you don't manage to repair them, sometimes not repairable. So there are lots of watches and clocks and radios belonging to people. So there was a big problem to the family. So I went to see the Commissioner of Police, Mr. James Peele, and he was somebody we knew very well. He was Anglican. And he very, very kindly accepted to receive all these items. So he came and they did an inventory. I was there from my brother's shop, took these to the police station, and then notified the public to say, because we wanted to be free of that responsibility. Notices, I'm sure on the radio, in the press, if anybody had any items with Davidson Chang, which had not been returned, please to come to the police station to collect. So for me, that was the end of the matter. I just proceed with two more bits of information, and I'll stop and allow you to ask your questions. I'd like to mention Dorothy, my niece, who gave evidence this morning, was only 11. I mentioned her because she was having nightmares after Davidson had died, and what her nightmare was about, every night she was screaming in her sleep, said it like it was a big white dog chasing after her. So I took her to St. Paul's Cathedral, took her to the Lady Chapel, and I prayed and blessed her, praying that she would be relieved. You know, these nightly haunts in her dreams. And I believe after that, we kept a close watch on her. She was, I think, relieved or healed. Next thing I'd like to say, it was extremely hard for the family because there were no social services benefits at that time, and the children have explained what a very difficult time they went through. But I'd like to say that after some time, President Oene did give a small allowance, which was, I think, mandatory at that time. They gave to, I think, widows, and that kept the family going for a while. It was also hard because the mother more or less went blind. She had diabetes and affected her eyes. So the nephews, nieces, they've journeyed through a very, very difficult time, and it's still raw for them. And that's why we're grateful that their session was done in camera, that is, without public hearing. Thank you for that. 2004, as I was completing my mandate as bishop, the Catholic bishop and myself, the Anglican bishop, used to meet at State House with the president, perhaps once a month, once every 2 months, to discuss church-state matters. Why I mentioned 2004, it was my last visit to State House officially as bishop, and Bishop Denivier was there. And as we were completing our session that morning, I said to President Wene, in front of Bishop Denivier, President, I'd like to let you know that I and my family, we've forgiven Seychelles for the death of my brother Davidson. He only said 2 words, yes, yes. That's what I remember. But I would like to add that I've met with, they asked to see me. President James Michel, President Danny Ford, they have both very sincerely, profoundly expressed their regret over Davidson's death. So they really, really felt sorry that happened. In this morning's session, there was a mention of healing, memorial services, and I'd like to let the Commission know that this has taken place several times. Every 5th of June, in St. Paul's Cathedral, especially because people coming from all over, especially the Democratic Party supporters or friends of Davidson's, they had asked for that memorial service. So we've held a few, but after a while, I said, no, let Davidson rest. Because every year it was the same thing. It was opening up the wounds of my nephews and nieces. But what we've done also, especially Davidson's children, they've gone around to the Central Police Station, and there, on that spot where Davidson fell, they went to put some flowers. And what happened on each occasion, the police chased them away. You can't do this. And then when I realized we're doing it, one year I went with them. Not only did we place our flowers, put them on a side of the wall, I stood there and I prayed. I don't know if the police were embarrassed, but left us in peace. What we've done also on every 5th of June, Davidson's children and a couple of other very close relatives, we've gone to St. Luke's Church at Bellum. Always a very, very moving, emotional situation. And there we've said prayers, and on every occasion I've laid hands on each of these nephews and nieces and blessed them at the grave of their father. And I talked to the departed and said, son, look after your children, help them. I'd like to stop here, but then I do have one or two questions I'd like to put to the Commission. Now it's over to you if you've got any.
I think, my first question is, I think you're the first person that saw the body, and from your description, it's quite clear that he was shot in the back. So I think the narrative that, he was wrestling with a gun and accidentally shot doesn't appear to have any merit to it. He was deliberately shot in the back.
And if at that time, if I had like this, a little mobile phone with a camera, I would have taken a picture because, doing things in haste, you're upset, you can't think properly. But I had no mobile phone, it didn't exist then. But that's what I saw. And that's been reported in a book by, I'll tell you his name soon, Australian historian. And his name will come shortly. The book was banned for a while. And can you? Derek Scar, that's right, Derek Scar's book.
You know who the police officer was that took the body of Davidson to the hospital?
We've heard a few names. We'll give you the name of somebody because it's amazing. A number of people have come forward ever since. They offer themselves and say, we were there when they shot your brothers. I've got a few names I'll give you. So somebody some few years ago who had been working for the police force said, I drove your brother to the hospital in a Land Rover. Obviously, there are few people because my brother was bigger than myself and fairly heavy. Must have lifted him, but he told me he died on the way. He was still alive. He could have been shot through his lungs. If it had been the heart, he might have died immediately. It could have been his lungs because the story goes, I was gasping for breath at the police station. And it could have been more than one person. But this person who said he did the driving is not well. And he wouldn't want to, but I will tell you his name. He might agree to say this privately to the commission. And also I'll mention to you afterwards another policeman, because I haven't got his permission. He told me, I witnessed your brother's shooting, and I'm prepared to come before the commission. So I'll give you his name later. I've got to ask for permission. And if I may not digress, but I was on the 2nd of November, about 5 years ago. I'd gone there to place some flowers and parked up in the car park. And as I was going down with a friend to do to whitewash the graves, a man was crying just opposite the cemetery. And he was calling my name, Bishop French, Bishop French. So I stopped and he was crying and said, I was there when they shot your brother, and this has been hurting me ever since. And I want to free myself from the burden of this experience. I'm saying this pour tous les gens qui peuvent écouter moi, c'est notre piton de moi là. So dans quelque chose, vini dit. So that person, I didn't ask for his assistance.
Mr. French, on the 5th June, you shared with us about the smell of petrol on the rectory and maybe also at the church. Mm-hmm. Did you share this action with President Albert René in those days?
We've never discussed this because there had never been any. I should have, in these circumstances, asked him if I could tell him. But he never invited me to share anything. It was at the forum in the International Conference Center. That's when I mentioned. And I said then, as I've said this morning, if the person is still alive, if anybody knows who had smeared the place, doused the place with petrol, please let me, because I sincerely want to thank that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of my daughters is here, the other one's at home. They could have died that day, and all of us. And looking back, so I keep asking, but why target our family? I'll tell you in a little while why I think my brother died, and that's a big question. It's my feeling, but I'll tell you soon when you ask me.
That was going to be my question, actually. Why do you think this happened to your brother?
Yeah. My nieces and my nephew this morning mentioned that my brother was an activist. He took politics passionately. And I feel my brother gave his life for Sir James Montcalm. And what I believe is that there was this fear that Davidson could organize a counter coup. Picture yourself, let's picture ourselves 44 years ago. There was no army. Police at home. It would have been fairly easy to telephone a few people and say, let's reverse this coup. I don't know if people had guns. I don't know. This is my thinking, my theory. So I believe, or they feel that Son was that kind of person who could have led a counter coup. I believe that's why they fetched him and probably just wanted to keep him under arrest. What their aim was, why they wanted, if they wanted to set us on fire, is it because they would silence me as a priest because, it would stir up the conscience of the people? I don't know. But also what followed, I think, had some weight to this statement I've just made, because all the people were rounded up afterwards and incarcerated, put in detention without being charged. So many people. And that also, I think, a strategy for stopping a counter coup. So that's what I believe. That's why they went for him, because he was such an ardent activist. And but he knew he was going to die that day. The reason why I say this is because I think the fact that he went to town, he got a lift in an ambulance. I believe he went to say goodbye to my mother, to our mother, who lived in Benezet Street. He had said to children, you don't have any dad anymore. Na papa pauzoti. I think he felt as a son he had to go, and he knew he was going to die. If Davidson had not died on the 5th of June, he would have died. Could have disappeared like so many people disappeared. So it was painful, brutal, but that's what we take. If it's any consolation, it was swift in a way. Have I answered your question?
There was also the issue of his son being arrested.
Yeah, we can understand
tell
his
us-
son,
yes.
Harry. That's what you're referring to, Dr. Purvis?
Yes.
Well, what happens?
Heard about this morning.
Davidson, there's a coup, and he knew that he was like an enemy number one in respect of a party in power. Because let's not hide this. My brother used to tease. That's what people were doing. After an election, they'd go around celebrating and teasing the opposite party for losing. I don't know if he went too far, but he was hated by, for doing this by some people. So he had to leave Belém because he knew they were going to go for him, come for him. And they went to the family's place and got Harry the eldest brother, who was about 18, so that he might have known if Daddy was hiding somewhere, then he would have told them, but Harry didn't know. So that's why they went for Harry. Any further questions?
We don't have any further questions. Your evidence was very clear.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else you would like to say?
Yes, I've got a few
Yeah,
things
good.
too. I've
Thank
got
you.
some
Go
questions for you.
ahead. Okay, good.
Not questions, but clarifications. What I'd like to know, two things. The police have an occurrence book in which they report any incidents which is reported to them. My brother died on their doorstep. I'd like to know if you have checked if there was anything in the occurrence book for the 5th of June 1997 in respect of Davidson Chang.
I mean, we did ask the police for the occurrence book, and they more or less told us that, you know, the same problems that a lot of the archives seem to have in this country, fungus, or they've disappeared, or they don't know where they are. But it is something we will continue to follow up, because we do believe there's a very important entry in that occurrence book, because a witness has reported what was written that day. So we will try and follow that up with the police. I mean, the police are cooperative, so I think they will help us. We'll try and find that.
Thank you.
Okay.
My second question is in the same line. The hospital, Ministry of Health, must also have a record of the patients. I'd like to know what is recorded about Davidson Chang when he was taken. However, he got to the hospital, but he died in there, not died, but he was in the mortuary of the Ministry of Health. What is there in their books?
We haven't gone there yet to get that. We did get the death certificate. I think Dorothy helped us with that, but we will definitely follow up all of these avenues of evidence that will help us, you know, make a secure finding about what actually happened. So we will go for the hospital records and try and find them, most definitely.
I think the original document the family has says death by bullet wound. It would have been good for them to describe that a bit more and say a bit more about that bullet wound.
Commissioner Green we had actually discussed these medical records. He was just reminding me we would need to have the permission of the family to seek them, because they're personal medical records, to seek the records in relation to the
You
death.
probably have to do this officially.
Yes.
We'll
yes.
respond.
Yeah. Yes,
Thank
we
you.
will request. Yes, we
Thank
will.
you. Only two more points. The Commission has talked about of amnesty, and people will come and confess, and whatever is said here will not be admissible in any court of law. My question is, any victim, anybody who has suffered, anybody appearing before this commission, can they afterwards press any course of action, line of action? Can they take anything to court from here?
The Act says, that once an amnesty is granted, so unless it's overturned by the Constitutional Court or something is unconstitutional, that amnesty would prevent any further action. The other thing that the Act provides is none of the evidence we take is admissible in any criminal or civil proceeding. So you couldn't take what you learnt from this commission and press an action. You would have to start your own investigation again, Okay. And it would be, I think the amnesty is there because there's a hope that this will be a healing and reconciling process. And the events happened 42 years ago. It's hoped that, people have developed, they've reflected, they're willing to take responsibility. But it was also the sacrifice made to get the truth, that was the, the carrot to try and get the truth.
Madam Chair, this is in respect of Seychelles and this commission. What if there's a possibility of the International Court of Justice? For me, this is a very important point because would the International Court of Justice act independently and say we open the case? The reason I mention this is that if there is no amnesty, then people would be afraid of incrimination because people come and confess, it's what I've done. But will they still come and confess if they know they're incriminating themselves because you said it's in public, it's been recorded? I don't know, just as a layperson.
If they want an amnesty, they have to come and, effectively incriminate themselves. Okay. They have a right against self-incrimination. So if we call you and say we think you're, a suspect, or we've determined on other evidence that you're a perpetrator, we are offering you to petition for amnesty, and they refuse, and we call them here anyway, they can say no comment, right, on the grounds of self-incrimination. They can refuse to answer. So the choice is theirs, basically. They take responsibility, they confess, they give full, frank disclosure and a sincere apology. It has to be meant. Yeah. Okay. Or they don't cooperate, we identify they're a perpetrator, they don't petition for amnesty, we can't take them to court, but what we can do is refer their name, to the Attorney General and say it's a person that warrants an investigation, and it's out of our hands, We just can't give the evidence that we receive. We can't hand that over for any further proceeding.
It'll depend on the Attorney General then to decide what he wants to. But this person has already incriminated himself or herself. They've
incriminated themselves in a forum where that evidence cannot be used against them. That's the...
Yeah. My very last point, and thank you for bearing with me. This morning, Madam Chairman, you said only in the case of perjury. Could you please elaborate this for us?
So, we want people to tell us the truth. And we have to make sure that there's, an incentive to tell the truth, but also if you don't tell the truth, that we can take action against you. So if somebody comes here and in their sworn evidence they lie to us, and we find out that they have lied to us, we can have them prosecuted for lying before the commission. That's the power that we have. That, as well as contempt of the commission. If we summon someone to come and they refuse to come, or we ask for documents and we don't get them, we can take proceedings for contempt.
Could I propose this be made public? Because I think there's still quite a bit of information which the public are not aware of.
We did try before we started. We wrote, I think, 3 articles trying to explain. One of them was very long. I don't think many people read it. And then we had a couple of others talking about, perpetrators and victims. But we will develop more material for our website, which is www.10 TRNUC.SC and put that on there, because I understand, these are important things to know, especially if we want, people to come forward. Anyone that comes to our office to give a statement, they're told very clearly about the perjury, because we don't want people to use the commission, for purposes that it was not intended for, which ways that people fear, it'd be used for personal vendettas or things like that. So, yeah. But we will definitely thank you for that. We will develop it.
Thank you for clarifying. I don't have anything more. Wish you well in your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your evidence. It was very clear and I think enlightening for all of us. So thank you very much. So our next witness is due at 2 o'clock, right?
He's already here.
He's already here. So perhaps we could call the next witness.
Okay.
Mr.
Second witness, Mr. Solano Savy.
I shall swear
I shall swear
to tell the truth,
to tell the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you.
Savy. Thank you, Mr. Savy. On behalf of the Commission, I would really like to thank you for coming forward to give evidence today. I understand from the staff of the Commission that you heard the evidence being given yesterday in relation to the killing of Davidson Chang, and you were motivated to come forward because you were a policeman during the coup d'etat of 1977, and you were the policeman that picked up Davidson Changham's body when he was shot and took him to the hospital. I'm also led to understand that you might have relevant information for the Commission in relation to other complaints, and we would be ready to receive that information today, as well as the evidence you can give us in relation to the killing of Davidson Chang. So I would invite you to continue.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Can I speak in Creole for every Session2 to understand what I'm talking about?
I just get my translator. That's my disability. I don't speak Creole, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know you're the only one who doesn't speak
I know,
Creole.
I'm the only one.
I prefer to speak in Creole because all the Session2
Yes,
are
I
listening.
can totally appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead.
So I would start by saying that, before the coup d'etat, I was attached to the PMU. Avant coup d'etat, moi, j'étais attaché avec PMU. Moi, j'étais un simple police officer, PMU, Police Mobile Unit. Et là, étant nous, premier quelque chose, étant coulé contre tout, ça que moi connais, moi pour dire, premier quelque chose, moi, j'ai demandé un jour pour nous à road Gilbert Morgan qui nous perdit. Et ça, c'est platoon qui m'a monté là-dedans. Qui gagne lead par 16 ans Vital Arisol. Et là, tu as dit pour dire Gilbert Morgan il perdu hier soir. Alors, nous pouvons lire partout. Voyez nous faire au Cap, nous faire Reef Hotel, Reef Estate, dans toute vicinité, pas ne voir aucun Gilbert. On ne voit rien, c'est strange, mais moi j'ai des commandes, moi j'y allé, moi j'y fait, mais moi j'y réalisé pour dire, being an ex-sergeant, moi j'y right-hand man, salute sergeant. Alors, moi j'y obéis son l'ordre, c'est moi j'y dis, pour dire, yeah, waste of time. Mais, lendemain, étant pas voir rien, lendemain, tu as demandé pour le Gilbert Morgan, faire le tour par Bellhomme, à pied, par le capitaine. Un full platoon. Mais encore, on ne va pas voir rien. Mais, On croit sur 2 jours après, tu as l'information qu'il y a une activité drôle que quand il fait l'île au récif. Encore, ça c'est entièrement avec lui. Après, il y a du monde dans un petit bateau de la police, hirondelle, tu appelles. Ça a été mené par 16 ans pour noyer. Et les temps c'est peu mauvais vraiment. Les temps arrive au récif, 16 ans, il dit que moi, il ne peut pas débarquer à cause des temps trop dangereux. Il dit, il connaît, il dit, ça les temps, il nage bien, il dit, moi, ok, allez. Les temps arrive à terre, moi, avec 2 hommes bateaux. Un monsieur Popono avec un monsieur Sedwick. Les gens arrivent à terre, nous 3, nous nageons, pas arriver à terre, parce que la mer est dangereuse. Là, on t'y voit pour dire que erect, un stand quand tu pratiques physique. C'est dans bande un petit shell à terre partout. Oiseaux morts, lapins morts. Et là, moi, je masse un exhibit. Moi, je mené. Moi, je suis avec 16 ans. Et tu fais rapport avec SB. Mais, malheureusement, après nous découvrons, pour dire dans SB, ça l'étend. C'est dans la moitié qui supporte pour faire un coup. La moitié, tu peux supporter sa gouvernement qui te pouvoir. Et puis, nous connaissons pour dire, monsieur Mancam, avant d'y aller, son dernier aller qui est en Angleterre, il dit dans un cocktail pour dire, bandi moun, man maman, il peut avoir un petit oiseau, un petit lapin pour le manger. À cause de lui, il tient du monde qui a un bon liqueur. Il passe à même imaginer un monde qui a un mauvais liqueur. Il dit comme ça. Mais ça, il finit comme ça. Ça fait Gilbert, pas jamais entendre encore, il voit encore, fini, ok? Mais si tout le temps demande mon liqueur, il est en matière police officer, on peut demander qui ça bonne activité, qui a dans toutes sortes de qualités, un petit shell là-bas, l'aux îles. Ok, n'a pas la réponse. Là, la veille coup d'État. Moi, mon petit travail, mon platoon, je travaille 4h minuit. Et Percy Dingwell, qui est beau-frère James Michel, lui, il driver dans mon platoon. Mon petit dallon pour lui. Mon petit bois drôle, qui s'ajoute, on peut voir lui 4h minuit pour finir le travail. Mon petit gars placé, moi avec un Urani, Radio Cécile. Mais, on tu vois lui, après minuit, lui qui driver, qui vient cesser nous, Radio Cécile. En même temps, ça d'allons, sa collègue travaille, dit que moi, après minuit, changer dans le danser. Mais on dit ça à cause de quelque chose, à cause pour faire que ça bouge tout. Mais, ok, on dit, on va pas le danser. Le lendemain, on est allé. Le lendemain, bon matin, on est levé dans petit 8h30, comme ça, moi, je suis resté au ballon. Et quand je suis sorti, tout le monde garde, il dit avec moi, moi, je suis resté au bord de garde, il dit avec moi, mon lucky, tourne à la cassette à cause. Tout garde, puis quand il y a massé, puis quand il battait. Vraiment, tu vois, un des bons ballons, linge, sale, partout, tu vas dormir dans la case voisine, so on. Ok. On dit non, moi, on peut descendre en ville, on peut le rôder, qui peut passer en ville, à cause, moi, je garde, moi, pas capable, stand, ça bonne affaire. Ok. On prend l'auto, on tient l'auto pour mon dallon, on prend l'auto, on descend, on voit, vous dit, de peu près dans 9h30, comme ça, on descend, on voit la ville, il déserté, net. On dit, moi, un coup, au lieu de cinéma, on va le guetter qu'il y en a, au lieu de cinéma est fermé. On prend, là, nous peut cause les 5 gens, là, hein? Là, nous peut cause les 5 gens. Moi, aller, on prend mon auto pour moi monter. Les temps m'arrive vis-à-vis le trafic, tiens, dans le traffic department, côté gauche, là, on peut monter la rue Révolution. Avant, tu appelles la rue Royale. Et côté droit, il y a la rue Bénézet. Si c'était tombé à aller, on entendit, shoot-li, CID. Franchement, on bloque frein à main, frein à pied, tout dans milieu de ses mains. Là, moi, j'étais côté trafic, mon oasis la gueule fusil, dans la rue Bénézet, mon oasis la gueule fusil, devant moi, à peu près 6-7 dimoniques fusil, aussi, tout point de l'eau, moi. Présent, moi, réalisé pour dire, un garçon de la rue Bénézet qui nous causait, il y a aussi un fusil, il est supposé prison. Quand des fois, on arrête lui, il a dit, moi, quand on sortit nos gâtés, plutôt gâtier, moi, oublie son nom, après, tu vas l'année. Il tire ses bords dans la rue en gare. Lui, il y avait un fusil, lui aussi. Lui qui dit, shoot moi. Mais, dis mon Dieu, pas nous, les. Présent, Jamaïcain, Souk, et Norvège, il là devant moi, comme ça, quand on arrête l'auto, moi sorti, il dit que moi, je te connais bien. Dis-moi, bro, pas faire aucune résistance. Écoute ça que nous dit, tourner à la centrale, à la côte de garde. Présentement, dit, ok, moi, pour moi, la clé d'auto, je dans mon poste. Après, un parmi qui pas trop contre moi, il dit, escorte-lui. À bout, président, bon maman qui contre moi, il dit, non, il est ok, il laisse-lui aller. Moi, aller. Les temps m'arrivent, si nous voyons la porte de garde, côté qui vit continental, qui vit avec grande route. À cause, il y en a aussi un, et la porte qui vit dans la rentrée, quand vous rentrez par là-dedans, il y en a la porte qui vit avec grande route. Si nous vivons avec grande route. Qui m'envoie, les vont venir, m'envoie M. Ina, lui qui est en sa PMU, commande M. Stone, il est l'inspecteur. On voit Ali assis en l'air au compteur, comme on voit Ali, il est maintenant, ben, quand vous pouvez aller où? Par exemple, on finit qu'on aime, on connaît son caractère, on connaît son attitude, on connaît plus ou moins. On fait l'y croire, on cause mentir, on fait l'y croire. On pas connaît qui n'arrive, on descend en ville, on peut venir masser. Il dit, on pas connaît mon boy? Monsieur Mancam, il a renversé. Monsieur René ne pas pays. On dit, on pas connaît. Ça l'air, on connaît, mon numéro de problème en ville, moi aussi. Allez. Mon bon d'allon garde qui connaît bien, il dans Persil, le perron qui monte en l'air contre commissionnaire, c'est à qui, pécris-moi, puis raconte-moi comment il est, Birajani, il a tout ça, il c'est évidence, mais sa bonne garde, tout peut cause même langage. Et ordinairement, la vérité c'est là quelque chose fait qu'arriver. Du monde pas dans le sens pour arranger. Je tout dis moi. Dis-moi, Percy Dingwell n'a arrangé pour lui donner l'information qui peut passer. Et pour Berajani, il n'est pas supposé travailler dans sa case. Et dans sans cas avec lui. Tu peux travailler des bouts qui coulent ça ce soir. Michel Roucou, il reste en l'air cascade, avec un autre garçon, qui ne m'a pas qu'à rappeler là. Mais tous les deux, des bouts coulent. Berajani, un bouc un peu plus grand que moi, un peu plus mince, mais très actif. L'Indingwell, il sortit sa histoire qui m'entend avec sa bonne garde. Tous les autres racontent pareil. Les autres bonnes gardes PMU qui restent baraques, ok? Ça qu'ils ont entendent, ils ont noirs, ils entendent. Il dit pour dire, l'arrangement c'est tu peux attraper Dingwell, tu peux prendre un garde, sa garde, tu peux rodement avec. Pour saisir tu peux venir, tu peux attraper sa garde, tu peux marrer, après les roucou, tu peux tourner, sortir Dingwell, tu peux attraper, c'est facile, pas facile. Mais les temps tu peux finir attraper ça des gardes, tu peux donner un wording shot. Là, tu peux envahir l'endroit. Mais les Dingwell, ils sortent le bit, sortent en garde partout dans une heure et demie et quelques montants. Ils voient Berajani de place à l'autre garde. Il allait, il dit avec un sur bon dallon, il y a un petit peu cassier d'un petit pick-up qui tient fait accident, qui tient pas 10 en dehors là même, pour 16 ans, rissol. Le petit peu cassier en bas là, avec d'autres fusils. en bas sa canopie là. En bas là. Un partisan dans Villéa, vis-à-vis avec l'office. Les Dingwe li vini, il allait, il fait comme si rien dit tout, il allait, il a causé que ça va dire, il dit, Berajani qui là. Veille, si on manque li, pas pour manquer. Bon, là, il sans plan, sans dire camarade, non, rien. Berajani à l'étang, tu peux assise, d'après toutes les histoires. Et mon allé le lendemain, mon voit, quand descend, couler la table, et tu peux assise le 16, et tu peux manger un pomme de terre bouillie. Il gagne soute. Comment Dingwell il persiade avec ça beaucoup là. On a de mangue, on a joli mangue, on voit en papier les bonnes vini. Beaucoup il dit à Dingwell, ça l'air qui mangue. Il dit ah on va aller des herbes son là une bon pour faire coup d'état. Ouais, il besoin c'est en train nous. Dernier coup, moi ou coup qui dit moi pour dire ça, OK? Ou coup ça ligne dit moi 2-3 fois. Nous bien nous dit. Il dit moi 2-3 fois à cause après ça l'incident, mon bien mieux pendant 2-3 mois encore après mon temps fait. Il dit que moi vous dit Dingwell persiade li en rodement. Dingwell il tire li là. Il emmène li rodement à peu près de moins 2 moins 3 des heures moins 2 moins 3. Comment il arrive le square côté pied mangue. Il a donné un coup de fusil. Li dit que Dingwell il dit fusil pété. Dingwell dit que lui, là, c'est bédon. Pétard, ça. Il dit qui pétard. Ça coup de fusil, il dit bon, il saute, biraja, ni persil, le son serré, dans ce pomme de terre, partout l'ouvreuse. Présent, Lee Francis Russell, il t'y croit pour dire, ça fait une bonne warning shot, il grimpe fil pour lui monter. Comment il grimpe fil pour lui monter, pour l'envahir l'endroit, un second d'allon même, il shoot lui encore. OK? Il shoot lui. Il mort pendant que fil. Lui, Roukou, comment il est arrivé? On te rappelle, en même temps, il y a un garçon, il appelle Winsley Joubert, un garçon parallèle. Il te garde. Moi, quand on dit bien, mon décollection, c'est. Il. Autant arabe. Tous les deux. À terre, dans ma rue, comme ça, piqué. Ti physio, bon, autres partout, fait autres pères, brille, colta, partout, tirer, fait autres pères, ok. Après, tu gagnes la rue plus tard. Mon algueté, toi, la lendemain. Présent, chez Ferrari, avec M. Pilé, il montait descendre par Madame Litan. Mais, chez Ferrari, qu'on ment bien. Il y en a un instant quand il passait, il tape la main dans mon épaule, il dit pas tracasser mon boy, on va dans bon. On dit il faut espérer monsieur. Il dit oui, on va voir. OK, on dit oui. By the time Jamaican in vini, il dit moi donne la clé, il prend mon auto, il envoie en dedans. On peut dire ça manque quelque chose pour vous autres comprendre bien pour dire à cause de la confusion, le mort sonne. Le lait. Moi, mon esprit en ordre, on rappelle tout quelque chose. Mais, présent, n'allez comme ça, dans une heure et demie à peu près, M. Pilé, il dit que moi, moi, dit que M. Pilé, on dit M. Pilé, on l'a fait. Il dit, mais, on pas commencer? On dit, non, monsieur. Il dit, allez changer après venir. On dit, qui peut venir faire, monsieur, un travail? Il dit, mais qui peut venir faire encore? On dit, ok, monsieur, merci. Moi, mon gars, ça aller. Moi, pour tourner, tout le monde. Moi, pour tourner, vin travail, moi, les voir qui peut passer, c'est ça, ok? Pas qu'à aller, si vous n'avez quelque chose. Moi, pour mon auto, moi, sorti, personne ne m'a dit, non, rien, moi, le beau ballon. Ben là, les voir, moi, vini, dis-moi, qui sent sur le gagnant, ou pas de mort, ou pas de gagnant, de casso, et so on. En même temps, avant, mon aller, moi, mon aller visite casso. Moi, ben, dans le garde, ça, qui peut dire, moi, nous allons danser, rendez-vous, là. Il est dans casso, lui. André Ayrani, dans Casso, ok? Il a arrêté, il dit, tu viens arrêter dans rendez-vous, ok? Présent, moi, mon dit, moi, dit, ben, moi, je peux tourner encore, moi, dit, mon travail, mon travail, 4 heures, moi, pas pour le travail, en 4 heures, c'est mon 4 heures, moi, pour aller. Oui, moi, aller, moi, occupe-moi, moi, mettre mon uniforme, 4 heures, moi, aller. Le temps, moi, aller, beaucoup de gardes bien mieux, tu move dans mes. C'est qu'on a un dé, là, que nous étions beau matin. Pas beaucoup. En même temps, mon bandalon peut dire, moi, vous dire, ça m'a beaucoup pour un pays, là. Peut faire, peut force garde dans l'uniforme pour venir escorte, pour venir exhorte, pour venir escorte, ban ex-police officers pour mener au aéroport. Et fait baigner sans bonne femme, surtout, baigner sans devant les autres. On dit que ça bonne d'allon, on dit, ben moi, on pas là-dedans. Ben, on va dire, à cause moi, tout le reste, on peut assis, peut dormir, peut payer. Moi, un petit peu plus, peut debout, là. Raymond Bonté écrit moi. Il m'a Savy. Ou venir avec nous, un petit coup, comme M. Stone. On dit, qu'il peut le faire. Il m'a pas l'escorte, il m'a mené à l'aéroport, il m'a dit non, pas venir, moi. Il m'a pas venir, il m'a dit non, pas venir. À cause, mon entend qui autres peut faire, femme, la bonne boucle, baigner, sans être tourner devant les autres. Moi, dit, on ne peut pas aller, moi. Moi, on ne peut pas aller, ok, alors, ok. Il ne peut pas faire, moi, non, rien, moi aussi, mon garde, ok. Après, on dit que bonne maman, il m'a dit, on va aller dans mes snoutos. Mais, moi, on travaille 4 heures, moi. Après, ça donne quelque chose qui est passé. Nous sommes dans Miss. Il faut d'autres comprendre. Pour dire, dans PMU, il y a une quantité d'hommes qui sont well trained. Plus bien trained, peut-être physiquement, que moi. Mais moi aussi, moi, je suis sur terre. OK? Bah, là, ça y est, mon sens. Bon, mon cas fait bien. Moi, je peux causer avec mon bandalon, garde, il y en a parmi, il y en a un, il y en a des autres qui s'appellent Tino, bandifrène, un bouc à peu près dans 160 kilos, un bébé, mais il peut plaire autour, moi je dis qu'il peut plaire. Papa n'a pas renversé. La plupart d'entre eux dans la 16 peut plaire autour. N'a pas comme si il a vu, ok? À peu près dans 5 heures moins un quart, on entend un coup de fusil qui sort du bord de la gate. Par exemple, moi, M. Max Fontaine, il est député commissionnaire. Il taillait vini figine blanc. Il dit, vin des gros hommes, vin ramasser un garçon qui gagne blessé. Par exemple, moi, dis autant, nous, ben gros hommes, en nous, maman, autant te repli dans 16. Par exemple, moi, j'étais, moi, au bord, moi, dis autant, nous, encore, 2-3 fois, personne n'a pas venu, mais un bon gars blessé, ou pas trop. Moi, un petit bouc, Meg, un peu Landré, moi, quoi, son nom. Ici, Mondon. Il tient garde PMU. Après, on voit Clément Bradburn. Lui, il tient garde qui tient tassé avec, il tient mécanicien. La police, on tient un mécanicien, tout. Il tient attaché à la centrale mécanicien. Bradburn, il est un homme average, à peu près dans grossesse à garçon, comme ça. Vraiment, moi, je suis parmi un peu gros homme, mais seulement, moi, pas plus gros homme. Les gens disent en nous, ça demande mal, ils suivent moi. C'est Fontaine, il vient pas derrière, il aussi peut trembler. Les gens aller, on voit son, Davidson Chang, il tombe à terre, sur la tête, il vit côté ses mains, il tombe ventre en l'air. Son devant là, il pète un peu beaucoup. Qui, d'après mon expérience, qui moment avec physique, si outil un bon physique pas ouais full comme ça, sous tape un bouc par derrière, ici tant fort, il peut mener par derrière et quand il peut entrer, il peut faire un petit trou et quand il peut péter devant, il peut ouvrir un grand trou, ok? Et c'est ça qui tient, il ouvert devant. Par exemple, de suite. Comme on arrivé là, on voit ça, on arrive à respirer, son les pieds côté gauche, il croise un petit guide en bali comme ça. Chef Ferrari vini, il fait comme ça, il get Philippe Dauphin dans le gate comme ça. Après il fait comme ça, il sortit aller. Ça, M. Ferrari, ok? Moi lève lui, on passe la main en bali, moi, on passe en l'air, on pas fier l'eau devant moi, le petit. On passe la main en bas sur les épaules, il tient gros homme, en réalité. On te rappelle, par exemple, ça demande à tape ça pour côté les pieds. Par exemple, M. Fontaine, il dit, envoyez un transport, mettez-le là dans l'hôpital. Par exemple, on dit, Bradburn, vous êtes Brad Ben, il taille, il prend Land Rover en même, il reverse. Moi, pendant ça, les temps, moi, son, il dans mon main. Avec son pied, il dans la main, mon don. Chez René, il descend. Il dit, il cause une parole, on ne peut pas comprendre avec Dauphin. Dauphin, ça, il est dans son. On ne peut pas connaître si un AK-47, si un SLA dans son main. Mais un physique, très pas fou, le banc qui tire lui. Pas un petit point tout. Présent, on ne peut pas comprendre que sa premier mot, il dit Philippe Dauphin. Présent, il dit que Dauphin, qui m'en comprend très bien, il dit donne-moi sa physique ici. Il prend sa physique avec Philippe Dauphin. Il y a la vie. By the time, Brad Ben finit, reverse Land Rover. Nous mettons lui dans Land Rover, nous ouvrons la porte, nous mettons lui là-dedans. Chef Fontaine, il dit, un entre les autres, allez avec lui derrière. Par exemple, moi, je ça t'a dit ça, moi, tiens, viens avec lui. Mais, moi, je ça t'a dit ça, là, moi, comme si, on dit, on dit, on dit, où aller là, non? Mon mal, tiens, on dit ça, là, moi. Il dit, ok, il saute dans Land Rover. Les temps, on peut dire ça, Samuel Salit, beaucoup de monde ici qu'on lit, il est mort. Tu brûlé là dans la case, dans le sopin. Il coque physique deux fois l'homme. Bousez. Mon guetté, mon lève lisé, mon guetté li encore. Il coque encore physique l'homme. Il panne soude. Mon Dieu, il parle, c'est tout. On sortit, moi allez. Mais, on rappelle, il y a un incident dans ce bois-là, je dis, demande-moi encore pour venir escorter les autres. Mais avant ça, les temps m'ont sorti dehors, les temps m'ont payé mon mec 10 ans, on peut sortir à présent, on attend, c'est dans 10 mon around, quand il y en a un bis gris, son numéro 2057 pour la police. Ça, il ne pas devant l'auto, c'est Ferrari. Lui, sa boulette, il passe là-dedans, après, il tape dans la porte de l'auto, M. Ferrari. Il y a un physique vraiment puissant. Après, mon rappel, s'il y a un problème dans ce bois-là, moi, je demandé pour aller, moi, pas nous les autres mamans aller, à cause moi-même, moi, je allé. Quand même, moi, j'ai 16 ans avant, moi, j'ai dégradé, à cause moi, j'ai corrigé un bouquin volé. Alors, au petit traitement, comment un petit peu 16 ans même, quand dit, il y en a pas mis, tu respectes moi. Moi, dans ces mêmes, tu gagnes radio pour dire, tourner, tout ça fait ok. Mais, plus tard, les temps, on tournait, mon don, il dit avec moi. Il dit, moi, pauvre son, comment il arrive contre l'horloge, il rend un soupir. Mais, il y a quelque chose qui, on croit aux autres tout qui est intelligent, autres pour comprendre, on peut dire. Il y en a des gens qui arrivent en activité pareille, ils sont capables de biter. Ils bitent pour la vie tout. À cause, on dit ça, à peu près un an passé. On partit me voir Brad Ben, bon les temps. Nous pouvons causer un petit coup la providence. Clément Brad Ben, il a toute force avec moi pour dire moi qui t'a allé l'hôpital pour aller l'école, pour l'emmèner son. Moi t'as wish moi qui aller. Non. Pas moi qui t'ai allé. Lui dit moi oui. Dis-moi au contraire, nous allons dans la Casemont, nous allons get Mirajani, nous allons get Francis Rachel. On dit non mon ami, pas moi qui t'ai allé. Si ça mène, il gagne ici, pas prendre les commentaires. Je comprends pour dire, il bloqué. Il peint trop vieux bouc, il prison qui m'en quoi. Mais moi crois vous dire, il vraiment bité vous dire. Mais pas fini. On a quelque chose d'autre pas connaît. À peu près vers 10h du soir. Encore, moi, je demandé pour escorte Polo Doul. Polo Doul qui fait gagner médaille là. OK? Lui, des revolvers dans son lirin. Pour aller escorte lui. Guy Khan, qui m'en croit, du moins il travaille des accounts en IoT. Nous sommes dans garde ensemble, nous sommes training school pour aller ensemble. Nous sommes Etienne, mon best friend, nous avons dit. Lui pour driver, moi, moi, escort. Pour le doule, pas dit Tian. Tian, femme, pourquoi une femme mariée, une femme ménage, Francis Rachel. 10 heures du soir, ça, hein? Même jour seulement, hein? Même jour. Pas ni demain, ni rien. Pour dire, lui pour dire, Francis Rachel, il est mort. Ok? Mon peut faire un tape là, moi aussi, moi derrière. Sorry. Moi dit, là, il a ce bois, personne ne connaît que Tian est resté. Tian, il y a après, on connaît resté dans lui. Là, il a ce bois, nous pouvons pas tout dans bon, ou pas moi, plutôt, on resté dans l'auto. Pour le doule, dans le bon voisinage, partout, pour le demander, côté Tian est resté. Le temps y a allé, on dit, moi, challenge, quand on a un coup pour guetter, côté nous était. On dit, quand. On dit, là, si nous sommes mauvais du monde. On dit, juste moi, casse, on dit une parole, qui n'a pas envie de répéter. Il dit, moi, Solano, mon pour dire, on dit, nous gagnons ça des revolvers. Il dit, moi, pour dire, président de suite, mon mazinet, si moi, pour bien tout, mon dallon, quand, tout, pour le doule, tout. À cause pour le doule, pas supposé peut faire sa action là aujourd'hui là. À cause coup d'état pas légal. Moi quand un police officier m'a réalisé coup d'état illégal. Mais présent quand il dit moi pour dire lui, moi dit quand on peut jouer coup. On pas envie tout quand un petit baguette comme ça, on pas envie faire comme si faire crime est nécessaire pour lui. Par exemple, il dit moi, ok alors, après persiadli, pour le doule, parce qu'on arrivé, j'ai encore d'un côté ça est resté en bois. Il dit moi, ok, il comprend. Premier coup, une persiadé, il dit moi, il connaît moi, nous training school ensemble, il dit moi, il connaît mon pour faire. Et vrai, s'il dit moi, oui, nous faire, ça qu'arriver, y arriver. Mais, bon Dieu, a roulé d'un côté. Nous allons, après une information, nous allons lui, côté Tian. Et d'arriver là-haut, côté Tian, bonsoir, monsieur, madame, mademoiselle, les chiens viennent, du monde chose, comment Paul commence à causer avec Tian, il dit, ou connaît, ou Marine, quand il chose, monsieur René, il dit, ou pata, dit monsieur René, pata cassé, moi, dit monsieur René, ok, il dit, un accident arrivé, oui, monsieur René, pata cassé, dit, moi, je connais ça. Il dit, c'est René, il dit, après, il y a waouh, ok, il y a waouh, après. Mais, après, plus tard, mon tourne. Moi, on pas un bouquin qui dormi, ça bonne jour, moi. Moi, les vois qui passent, c'est celle. Les temps, là, il y a des petits 11h30, comme ça, on tournait. On passait, mon voit tout. Tout bon bouquin, c'est un fusil partout. On peut dormir à la traîne à terre partout, tout. On va aller. Mon noir est quelque chose de très grave qui mon witness, qui me chériné, il fait. Moi pas envie de dire là, à cause, ça dit monde, si moi dis, il y en a des monde qui est victime là-dedans. Il y a une victime, alors il peut salir son dignité. Ok? Moi pas envie de dire. Mais si ça dit mon, jamais, il vient contre sa commission, il a besoin de support la vérité, moi pareil pour venir dire qui m'a tué à ça. À cause, si moi le plus en détail, il y en a des gens pour connaître quoi. Alors, moi préféré pour les moments, quitte là même. Mais, dans ce même ça bonne l'air là, on fait les tours encore, les temps on a tout ça dit bon peut dormir. Moi aller dans messe, il y en a un mois d'allon, Pat Lablas. Pas Pat Lablas qui travaille avec le gouvernement, mais Pat Lablas, gros Pat Lablas qui est en taxi pour aller. Il tient garde PMU, moi tu connais un peu plus bien. À cause, moi dis bon parler moi aussi. Moi pas tiens second abonnement, mais qui ont capacité. Moi dis que les pattes. On dit, on fait les tours, tout ça bandit, on peut dormir, fusil à la traîne partout. On dit, on nous organise des trois nous. On nous organise dans la réponse à pays. Il dit, moi, là, on dit oui. On dit, tout ça, dit, on peut dormir, il n'y a pas aucun contrôle, aucun pas, n'a pas personne. On dit, on fait des tout entiers pas, tout ça qu'on regarde, n'a pas. Tout ça, dit, on peut dormir. Il dit, moi, mais j'espère moi même, moi, tiens qu'un coup, bonne son, moi, vini. Pétant, à peu près 1 minute et demie, qui sorti, Ina est sorti dehors, il commence à zoomer avec mon maman. Et où la Savy telle chose ou maman. Qui on dit pas, on dit monsieur, ben on dit li pour dire nous ka reprendre un pays, nous well train, nous ka reprendre toi on dit mon peut dormir. Il dit moi fais manière, ben li ça bonne l'idée telle chose ou maman qu'on peut dire. Il dit on a mort pas grave là, OK? Mon dit que lui, on dit zan même c'est, on dit nous capable faire. Il dit mon Dieu non. Nous pas pour faire, faut la paix. Il persistait à la fin. Il tient 16 ans, il tient l'inspecteur. Il dit ça gagne une commune là-bas, PMU. Moi, je suis simple garde. Moi, je resté tranquille. Mais tout ça là, il affecté moi à cause par nature, moi pas content. On croyait les hommes, ils débrouillent la guerre pour dire bien au pays. Mais malheureusement, longtemps, les dit, il dit, Cheina, tout le monde est taillé, quoi. Mais malheureusement, les pour prendre action, 0, 0, 0, 0. À cause de ce pays, il devrait être renversé par PMU. PMU tient la force à peu près 75 100 hommes, well trained. Moi, mon petit bon, l'eau de rilet physique, on pas trop un bout qui taillait vraiment pour j'ai un bon taillé, non, moi j'ai un bon nazaire, oui. Moi j'ai un bon, moi tu comptes faire physique first class, t'as pas de problème. Mais tu as des hommes qui sont vraiment physique, quantité, longtemps la PMU, ils travaillent vraiment bien. Mais seulement, il y a quelque chose encore qui peut-être aujourd'hui pas son jour pour dire, on dit ça petit guine, il y en a encore quelque chose qui moi pour venir ici, moi pour demander pour venir ici. Par exemple, Hassan Ali, moi qui tiens ça sécurité mobile patrol, les Hassan Ali disparaissent. Moi qui tu vois premier, moi qui tu rapporte premier. Après, il y a l'autre événement encore, dit monde pas trop cause de là. Mais moi, il affecte moi à cause de mon côté quelque chose de droite. Il y en a un nommé Alfred Lefebvre, c'est un mercenaire qui vient en congé ici. Moi qui t'arrête lui, moi qui gagne l'ordre par lui. Ça bouge s'emmène d'affaire non, il y a beaucoup innocent. Bob qui rend la sirène, lui qui fait arrêter sa boucle. À cause de mon gars, Boug prend son place, sa boucle tu peux lui bon qu'il est. Mais avant il mort, il t'a confessé que moi vous dis vrai, il trahit sa boucle. Moi, là il paraît, comme il paraît pour crier moi, à cause moi aussi moi mon caisse personnelle. Moi je gagne redundant de la police, un sou mon ban gagné. Le gouvernement prend la terre, la case, une seconde. Pour ma femme, tout pareil. Well. Un jour, j'ai besoin de moi, on parle pour mon vie. Si on donne aucune question, on parle pour me répondre. Et moi, l'air que monsieur son est mort, je garantis. Encore, on entend différents l'air. On entend M. Ferrari dîner vers 10h au matin. On déjà dit que M. Ferrari, on bite M. Ferrari. On a loin de M. Ferrari. On dit on fait un mistake. On ne pas entendre l'évidence sur les enfants, sur la famille, on croit qu'ils devraient corroborer avec ce qu'ils m'ont dit. Mais on entend M. Lefebvre hier, qui m'a livré un vieux dallon, peut-être dont on n'a pas besoin, il ne pas reconnaître moi. Il connaît très bien, moi, je suis 5 policiers au Vallon dans mon district, moi, je 16 ans dans mon district, qui connaît moi. C'est Georges Lefebvre. Maintenant, il dit, un dimanche, il dit, son dans le désert, c'est pas 3 heures, tu gagnes tout yé. Non. Son il gagne tout yé, à peu près 5 heures moins un quart, les 5 juin, devant corps de garde. Et, moi, pas connaît, à faire, mais, M. René va arracher physique Philippe Dauphin, si pas Philippe Dauphin, qui ne touille son. Moi, je ne pas noir, là, touillé. Mon noir après. Mais mon noir, là, M. Ferrari, il vient, il soque, il ne dit non, il y a une balance sur la tête. Après, M. René, il vient, il cause avec Philippe Dauphin. Après, il dit, donne-moi un fusil ici, il prend un fusil avec lui. Ça, mon tiroir. Il ne prend pas un fusil avec un autre monde, il prend avec lui. Alors, mais il y a aussi une mort. Ouais. Il y en a beaucoup de monde qui nous witness quand quelque chose, qui est mort. Ça, il est vrai. Bon, pareil, Jamaïcain, il est mort. Souk, il est mort. Quantité de mort. Et ça demande des temps. Moi, les référés sortis à cause d'un cas, du monde dans l'évidence qu'il y en a un rabout attaché, je te comprends, qui, lendemain, ou 6 lendemain, moi, quand j'ai demandé pour le travail, airport, là-bas, je vois Tinal Marengo, j'ai un fusil qui folie arme. J'ai donné un fusil vide. Moi, dis avec lui, moi, je ne pas roulé. Demande-moi à cause, moi, dis, ben, moi, je connais un fusil, moi. Je dis, ou dans un fusil. Un ennemi, il a moins qu'un fusil. Il pas pour demander question, il pour shoot moi. On dit, ben, si un bourg vient, il a avec un fusil. Il va moins de l'armée pendant. Quelquefois, il va faire mon hands up, ou bien il attrape moi, il y en a moi. Il pas pour tout moi. Il dit, moi, ben, mon pour rapporter ça plus loin, moi, dit, moi aussi, mon pour rapporter. Le lendemain, mon petit rapporte avec M. Sikobo, qui tient sa centrale. M. Sikobo, qui donne l'ordre, qui, moi, je parle aucun endroit que je donne fusil vide pour travailler. Moi, ben, les autres collègues, qui, peut-être, pas nous tous qui parlent de la terre, pas nous tous qui ont la même connaissance. Il y en a allé, pas des bonnes l'année, ils travaillent avec un fusil vide. Il ne pas donne nous aucune boulette, non, il donne nous un fusil comme ça même. Mais plutôt dans un bâton. Voilà. Moi, pour moi, ça, ça. Mais il y en a un côté du monde qui, peut-être du monde pas connaît dans le coup d'État. Moi, je connais quantité des autres, vraiment. Il y en a une partie de mort. Il y en a encore vivant. Du monde qui est dans le coup d'État. Il y en a Flo Payette, qui est là. Il y en a Gilmer Kogat. Raoul Labelle mort. Il y a un bon pays autres. Une quantité. Un lèvre passé, moi, quand dans toute la liste. Moi, je connais quantité, moi aussi. Moi, je connais mon assez bien. Well, moi, je connais si les autres quelque chose, peut-être, moi, il y avait un seul autre temps pour me raconter. S'il y en a quelque chose, peut-être, dans vie claire ici, je parle pour me répondre n'importe quelle heure. Même là, même l'autre jour, je ne connais pas. Ok, moi. À comment on vient ici volontairement, pas personne ne demande pour venir.
Well, I would like to say thank you very much for coming voluntarily. You know, it's greatly appreciated by the Commission. It's also, I think, you've helped us because you actually saw the body of Davidson, Chang
Yes.
him, and there was 2 narratives, so we have 2 witnesses now who have given evidence that he was shot in the back and not shot in the chest. And the way you describe it with the exit wound, it's consistent with having been shot.
Thank you, Your Lordship.
I just passed to my colleagues. I would also say we had hoped to hear the case with Hassan Ali. It was our case number 5, but the complainant was not in the country. We do understand she's back next week. So it will be a case that we will probably schedule in October, and we will definitely call you.
Yes.
I know we're all very curious, but I think it's important to have the complainant here. to hear that evidence as well. So I think we should leave that until she comes back. I'll hand over to my colleagues, but thank you very much.
You're
Very
welcome.
appreciate
Thank you,
you
madam.
coming forward.
Thank you.
Juste une clarification.
Yes,
So, et OK, moi dire en anglais, pour ça, madame comprend?
No, yeah, ule, yeah.
Okay. When you said that when you went back to the police station on the 5th of June and people were lying around sleeping with their guns and all that, where exactly was that?
They were
At the central police station?
at the central
Montpellier?
police station, yeah. Everywhere, all the corners, there were a few of them. There were, I would say, at the central police station, there were about 20 of them, covering all around, but all of them were sleeping. I've been all over the place because I know this place like my hands. Because when I joined the police force, I stayed in the barrack. That's the exact place where they were, you know. We had the police barrack there, up there. So I've been through all these little holes. I know it by heart everywhere. So they were lying in the corners, on the steps, sleeping, doing nothing. You know, that was about, let's say, about 12. Around 12, I would say, when I came
Midnight.
back from 12 at midnight. Yeah,
Right, yeah.
That was the day of the coup, not before the coup, the day of the coup.
Thank you.
You say there were lots of people around the police station, fast asleep and all that. Are they people you know? And is there any chance you could recall some names that you would give us?
Well, apparently, I recall mostly all of them are dead now. I would say. I know one who's still alive, but he's sick, very sick. His two brothers has passed away. The Charlotte family there. There were a lot of them. There were Samuel, there were Olen, I think. They're all dead. Antoine, Gerald. These are brothers. They were all same gang, you know. They've all passed away. I think only Antoine is alive, but I think he's got Parkinson's disease, something like that. I know him very well. I know all of them because I was in the police force with them. And it's strange to believe that they were fast asleep, not responsible. I don't know whether they were tired or whether whatsoever. They were not alert, really. They were sleeping.
Thank you for the evidence you have been sharing with us. Can you share with us, during the days of the coup, what were the types of guns available in the police force?
Well, we had .22, we had 303, we had the new ones that were the SLR and AK-47. They were very sophisticated. Mm-hmm. They were rapid. You could do 35 rounds just within seconds, just one go. So we had all these.
So,
really.
How were the guns distributed to the officers? AK-47 was distributed to those who have been trained?
Usually, yes. When you go somewhere where you need a gun, you are given a gun, you sign the book or whatsoever with
So
ammunition.
it can be any type of guns.
No, usually, lately we were using the AK-47 or SLR mostly. SLR was the most common one. During the time I was at the PMU.
You said that President René took the gun from Mr. Dauphin.
Yeah.
Do you remember which type of gun it was?
It was either on SLR or on AK-47. Well, you know, from a distance, though it was close, you know, I didn't get the opportunity because I was more or less concerned with sound. So, but it was not a toy gun, really, okay? It was not a .22, no. It was a very powerful gun because that gun went through sound through a little bus, a bus of, let's say about those 13, 15 passengers bus there, and then it went straight to the door of the car of Mr. Ferrari.
The SLR and the AK-47 would have done the same damages.
Yeah. It's very, very powerful. They said it could kill, go through 12 men and injured the 13th. It's that powerful, yeah. Very, very powerful. But we used to go up there at Auchan for shooting. Apparently, when the coup happened, we were making a competition among the PMU officers. And probably it's not too nice to say, but I was leading. We had 3 positions for shooting, usually, in the competition. We had lying, kneeling, and standing. So I was leading by we did the 2 most difficult one, that was standing and kneeling. So I was leading. My average point was 97.5. So lying is the most, very easy one, I would say. So I would have done 100% because I had already beaten all the others, you know, who were very good. We had we had some very good ones, and too. Like I remember, there were 2 Marie, we had a Victor, we had Cometan. They were very good, but I had already beat them, you know. I was, because for me, gun is like someone who likes football, you know, or someone who likes his phone. But I used to like, when they say we're going shooting today, for me, it's a big feast, you know. I enjoy that. So
thank you. My last question for you, Mr. Savy. Yesterday, you might have heard through radio or TV, we were talking about the use of drugs. Dr. Ferrari shared about a white pill, which people drank with whiskey. And then there was also an alleged proposer saying that Dr. Ferrari was administering injections. Were you aware, as a police officer, whether these practices were real?
Well, I would say when I joined the force in '69, the cannabis was quite common in Seychelles. I knew at this time a lot of friends who were consuming cannabis, for example. I used to fight with them to ask them to stop. One of them, even a friend from Prale, even told me that you would never believe how happy you are when you take cannabis. He said, you should test it. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke cigarette, no. But I've tested drugs to make sure that my friend is a foolish one. So he asked his friends, the one who was in charge. He has passed away, but some of them are still there. Big names today. I don't want to mention their name, but to convince my friend that he is just wasting his time with cannabis, We went to Notice Point. We have a try. He gave me, he said, there was nothing. I said, you stupid. When we returned, when we went there, everyone was quiet. When we just arrived at a certain distance, everyone was singing, happy. I said, well, he said, you're not happy? I said, no. He said, okay, tomorrow we try again. The next day we tried again. I said, you better stop it because you'll end up in jail. But I didn't betray him. I was transferred to Ladig. About 2 or 3 months later, I heard he was in jail. But I know, Father, that even now, even before, there's tablets that could make you perhaps very active or whatsoever. Could make you I don't know, make you like an animal, yeah? There's a lot of these pills.
Were these
all
tablets
type.
being used during the days of the coup?
Well, I don't know, but I cannot deny to say that there were none. But these types, all these types of tablets that exist today has been in existence for years and years. And it's only to believe it or not. So I don't know what has happened. I've heard some of the evidence of Dr. Ferrari, but I don't know. I'm in good term with Dr. Ferrari. I like him. But I think you would agree with me that when he said that he thought that it would be a better Seychelles. That's what he said. He said that he thought everything would be much better. He did a big mistake. So I agree with him because I have the evidence. When the day of the coup, when he passed by and put hand on my shoulder and said, my son, you're going to be happy. I asked him, are you sure, sir? He said, yes, you'll see. So that means his intention was very, very good. He believed in Mr. René. And he is not the only one. Mr. René fooled a lot of people, very intelligent people, like lawyers, like Jacques Odoul. Jacques Odoul was in the coup too, okay? So he was a lawyer. So he's been fooled, you know? And he didn't stay long in the politics with Mr. René, you know? So I understand everything, but I'm so, at least he asked for forgiveness. But a lot of things he has said doesn't match. I've realized that. I don't know whether he's been stuck since that day, like my friend Bradburn, I don't know. But someone, when I feel something, I cry. So I get it out. Some people take it inside, and that's till then. Eh? So I'm not going to die very soon because I should have died a long time back.
Thank you.
Mr. Savy, I've got a bit of a technical question. You say you're very familiar with guns, and you mentioned AK-47, you mentioned SLR. Now, would you be able to explain the difference? Because it is not clear whether Mr. Chang was hit by a single shot or whether it was a burst.
Well, the thing is that these guns you could put on automatic, or you remove the spring, you go by single. Easy as that. But usually when we went firing there for competition, Mr. Stone, who was in charge of the guns, he removed all the spring. So we went single by single. Otherwise, if you just leave your hand on the, you press it, just 35 rounds go just like that. But it seems that he has been shot only once, because otherwise it would have opened the whole body, you know, because 35 rounds is a lot of rounds, you know. But, and I'm sure some of them, or mostly all of them, were removed, the spring were removed from them because, for this purpose, you know, because it's so dangerous, I would say. Only one mistake, everything goes.
Monsieur Savy, merci beaucoup.
You're welcome.
Only one simple question to confirm my own understanding.
Yes, sir.
Being a person who got the opportunity to see the body of David's son, can you confirm for this commission the person who drove the body of David's son, the name of the person, for confirmation?
Who drove
the body?
Mr. Kalema Bradburn. He is the one who drove the Land Rover from the police station to Victoria Hospital. And he was accompanied by Andre Modo at the back. So I've heard that ambulance was called, whatsoever. No. Bradburn is the one, he works for, lately he was working with Hertz Kahal, Mr. Rasul Kahal, something like that. Just, I think very close to your place there. So that's where he used to work there. I think he might be still working there. But he used to stay around Belloni or Angar Street, somewhere like that. But Modon, I'm not so sure whether he's still alive. There were twin brothers, I think. One died some times back. I don't know whether this one or the other one. But Bradburn, I could confirm he's still alive. And he is the one who drove the Land Rover. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for coming today, for coming voluntarily. Arriving yesterday after you heard the evidence is greatly appreciated. I hope you set an example for many more people to come forward. We need people to come forward and to give us the information in their possession if we're going to meet our objective of finding the truth of what happened. I know we will be hearing from you again because you've indicated you do have evidence in relation to other complaints and in relation to your own complaint before us. So on behalf of the Commission, deep appreciation to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.
So we did miss our break today, but I think we will just continue because the next witness has arrived. So if we could please have the calling and the swearing of the next witness.
So the third witness is Mr. Marcus Simeon.
I, Marcus Simeon, shall tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Please be seated. Please be seated. So thank you very much for coming to answering our request and appearing today. The Commission wanted to speak to you, I set it out in the letter, about Law Decree number 24 of 1977, which established the Liberation Memorial Fund decree.
Yes.
The object of which was to, and I'm quoting, provide for the maintenance, education, benefit, or advancement of those persons who were wholly or substantially maintained by the three persons who died on Liberation Day, 5th of June 1977, namely, we get to see Mr. Davidson, Chang, and then it says to provide funds for housing, etc. So we understand from the family that they never received anything from this Liberation Fund. So we would really appreciate if you could explain to us about the administration of this fund. Was there money in the fund, and who received the money from the fund? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Firstly, I must admit that I only started work in 2008, so and the information that we have in our office is very limited concerning the funds. But what we can confirm, as you can, as I believe you've read the decree, the fund is administered by a board, and the files that's available to us today at the agency, we cannot see where the board members. I can see letters concerning the secretary on the board, and there's a name there that is mentioned in terms of the secretary of the board, but I cannot see the board members' name. So the relationship between the fund and the then Social Security Fund was that the Social Security Fund is used as a payment vehicle for the fund. The fund has its own board, its own approval system, whereby they approve who's the family who gets assisted with those. They instruct the then Director General to effect payment accordingly. So these are, we can say, letters to that effect in there. And based on what I can see, on information I have on my end, I cannot see payment being made to the family members of Mr. Chang. But I could be wrong. There could be. There's so much payment that has gone, that has taken place over the years since it was created in 1977, and I might not be the best position. There might be payments that was made that is not detailed in my file here that could relate to.
If I just clarify, your file is from 2008. Is that what you said, or the information you have?
The information I have goes back to 1999.
1999.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And could you indicate how much money?
Okay.
I mean, where did the money come from that went into the fund?
All right.
Yeah.
The money was withdrawn or put aside from the then Social Security Fund. And what happened was that it was a fund that invested the money in, for example, fixed deposits in those type of financial instruments. And with the interest earned, we're able to cater for payments for those families. It started, rightly so, as you mentioned, with with family members from those supposed to be paid to the three family members, but then extended to cover other family members who suffered the loss of a member who were in the military or police afterwards. Okay. And I have a schedule that I've done of those families that were getting assistance.
Yeah. Was there any legislation that came into force to extend this one?
Yes, the decree that I have before me covers future regulations that covered all the inclusion of other people that were that suffered or lost in the military before then. I can think of cases, for example, military officers who died in the helicopter accident and things like that. So they were covered.
And that was done by decree.
It was a regulation in the decree to extend the powers of that decree.
Could you have the numbers, relevant numbers?
I have the full decree then, but my document doesn't state the SI, but I can give you a copy that shows the extension of coverage.
Okay.
Okay.
And so there was a board that was meant to determine who was eligible to benefit from the fund, but we don't know who the board members are. Do we know who the board members were at any period of time, or?
I cannot see from the details I have here. what I can see is communications between the secretary and the chief of the army then. And you will have information about all of those. Yeah.
Who was the secretary? And
It was Mr. Francis Chang. Yes. Back then, yeah. He was the secretary to the Board of Trustees, yeah.
So the fund paid out more than what you would get from Social Security directly?
Additional to that, additionally.
Right. Okay, so it paid in addition to your
Yeah,
Social Security.
If
And-
that person qualified for Social Security pension and things like that.
Okay,
But
and-
if
right.
not, they just get a
And the decision was made by the board
Yes.
as who would be
eligible.
Who would be eligible? And could anyone like petition to be eligible to receive? I mean, how did the board come up with who should? You'd have no idea. Okay. Yeah, I think we need to know who
Yes.
the board could perhaps tell us if we could find the board. Can you give us any idea about the sums of money that were in the fund and administered?
We're talking about in the range, at the peak I think there was about 10 million, 12 million rupees in there, because payment per family members per month was around 950, 500, 850 per family members, so there was not a lot of individuals benefiting.
I don't suppose you know whether any of the people identified in the original, Francis Rachel, Ivana, Jenny, whether they ever received anything?
Yes,
from-
second trust.
Yeah.
I've got the report that says.
Okay, so that would be
Yeah.
interesting to know whether they received anything from the fund.
Yeah. Yeah, I can go through that.
Can we? Thank you.
This schedule shows the name of beneficiaries and the relation if
And is the fund, it's still continuing today?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the family of Chang Him to have received anything from the fund, even though they're named specifically in the Act, the board would have had to
approve something.
approve. It
It-
sounds pretty mandatory. The objects of the Act shall be as follows.
Yes.
You know, to provide for the maintenance, education, benefit, or advancement of those persons who were wholly or substantially maintained by the three persons who died on Liberation Day. And yet, they
That's
never
fine.
received anything.
No, that's why
Yeah.
I never said they never received. I said I cannot confirm.
You don't know. You
I cannot
cannot
confirm that they never
Okay,
received.
yeah.
Because the information I have is very limited from my end.
Okay.
There's only this file.
Yeah.
But I can see that the main file itself could have been kept with the board, and they will have more information. So I will start with the secretary. Maybe they can.
But we don't know who the board is, right?
No, but we know
Yeah.
who the secretary is.
We know who the secretary is. So Mr. Francis Chang, he's still the secretary?
Was or
He
at least was,
was.
yeah.
Okay, he was the secretary.
So,
Is-
Mr. Simeon, as far as I can remember, all the commissions, the boards and sessions, they have files at State House. So the commission will appreciate if you can have the file of this board, because you are the CEO of this agency. I believe you have to know the members of that board, because the fund is still continuing. The board, you say the secretary, do you know all members of the board?
No, but the board is not an entity of the agency. It uses the agency to effect its payment.
Yes, but we want to know the board
Okay.
also. Because the board is very important in the process.
Yes.
They are the one giving the orders for
Yeah,
the payment. Am I correct?
The board give orders in terms of who will benefit.
Whole benefit.
So, for example, if the last order came in 1999, for example, then there's been no inspection since because there's been no new beneficiaries.
Oh,
So once somebody gets in, then that's it. It's not a matter of every month they will say pay.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
No, it's part of knowing the board because the board
Yeah.
gives the orders and the
Yeah.
instructions. That's my point.
Maybe somebody, it's something higher than me that will know that.
Well, it says here that these records are as from 2011, and prior to this, all was being administered by the SPDF. Might you get the records from the SPDF? I mean, or can we? Or
We'll try.
It would be good to know.
Yeah, we'll try. I don't know if this is specific here, but we'll try our best to
You will try.
yeah.
Okay.
Of your knowledge, is there still a board?
I have, since I've been, I've started work at the agency, then the Social Security Fund in 2008. We've never communicated. There's never been new communication.
Hopefully, if the board is listening, they will get in touch with the commission. There was one, there was an email that was sent on the 13th of April 2017, and
Yes.
that really led to us contacting you about this fund. And, that said that under the fund previously, recommendations for, in the past came from the SPDF directly. So that would suggest that the members of the board were from the SPDF.
It could be. The letters, the email I sent out to the vice president when one of the daughters came to see me in distress, and rightly so, I informed VP that maybe she needs to be called and explain the situation.
So
and my reference to that is that, for example, I can see on file letters from SPDF to the board secretary to request that assistance is given to Mr. or Mrs. X. So because they are people from.
So they're victims of accidents in the army, basically. That was the
it's
fund
not
was
instructions
for.
to the board.
So anyone who is injured may benefit
Yeah.
from this fund if they're injured in the army. So that's maybe why the SPDF is directly involved in that, because they're people from their services.
May I just ask another question? I'm still not clear where and how is the fund administered now? Is it under the Social Security Agency or? Okay.
The fund is kept directly at Treasury, and Agency for Social Protection, as I say, is the vehicle through which the payment is effected, and those beneficiaries that were approved back then, who are still alive, will continues to get the payment in line with the decree until he passes away. So Agency for Social Protection, or then Social Security Fund, maintains this payroll, and every month when we effect payment, we just call in Treasury. We say we need to disburse this amount based on this payroll. We cannot add new people because that's not our mandate. We don't have the power to do so. Only when they pass away do they then get erased off the records. So we just use our payment platform to effect the payments accordingly.
Once you start benefiting, so if you start benefiting, I think, in 1991, and you're still alive, you continue to benefit to this day.
There's instances we've seen in the past. For example, when children, when they turn 18, then they become independent on their own, so they move out of the schemes. But there's assistance in there for spouse, other partners. Then those they continue.
Are there periodical reviews to the amount being paid? Because if you got 500 rupees in 1991, 500 rupees today is not the same thing at all.
No, no.
Are the amounts reviewed or they just fixed?
It's just fixed amount. So for it to be reviewed, it has to be an instruction from the.
From the non-existent board.
Yeah. That's why we don't get involved in those. That's why. Yeah.
I'm assuming you can't give us any information as to why the Chang Him family, specifically named in the Act, did not benefit.
Of course
Say
not.
that they have not benefited under the Act.
I cannot say.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah,
again,
you don't know. You only know from your dates.
Cannot confirm nor deny that it happened.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I wonder if we can find earlier files that might help us, you know, get to the bottom. So those files, do you hold the files, or you put them in an archive, or?
From the file I have, there's only one file I have that
There's
starts.
only one
Yeah,
file.
that starts in 2003.
2003.
2002, the first record's in there.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe the earlier files have been archived somewhere?
Somewhere, so-
Yeah, we'll have to
Yeah.
look in. But you don't know where you send your files from your...
Back then,
No.
because we'll have to try and talk to previous director generals to see
Yeah.
where those files are.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, could we get a list of the previous directors general who,
Yeah, yeah. There's.
with the years when they were,
Mhm.
so that we can then try and go
Okay,
backwards?
I'll get that to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
You're welcome.
coming and providing some clarity
Yes.
to us. And if the board is out there and listening, we would appreciate if you could identify yourself. If not, we will find a way of
Yeah.
working it out, I think, through the
They've
through the
given you
past
sec-
secretary.
The past secretary that was there, so in the year 2000s or not, so.
Okay, so thank you very much for
You're
coming.
welcome.
We greatly appreciate
Yeah, I wish
your
I could be
testimony
of
today.
more help, but thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. So that was our last witness for today, and we will be reconvening tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock in public session. I've forgotten who the first witness is. No, that's not. No, that's Thursday. I think it's Leopold Payette. We've asked to.
Yes.
Yeah, Leopold Payette, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah, in relation to the fund. So. Oh, then it's followed by an eyewitness, I think, Guy Rucco, and then another witness after that who was, you know, maybe also an eyewitness, but was the person allegedly driving the car on the day when Philip Dofi was looking for Davidson Chang Him. That's Philip Lucas. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for the evidence that you gave today, and our other witnesses. And we are now adjourned until 9 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, sessions closed for today. Like the commissioners have said, we will reconvene tomorrow at 9 a.m. And thank you, SBC, again, and all media houses for attending, and especially the Chang Him family also. We'd like to thank you and other people present. All rise. Yes, they may leave. Of course, you are free to leave. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.